assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Namo Vishnu Bhagavan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 22, Text 47. Pṛthu Mahārāja meeting with the four Kumaras. Yarid Shri Bhagavato Gatiratmavada. Yarid Shri Bhagavato Gatiratmavada. Ekantato nigamavi pratipaditanaha. Tushyantavadabra karunastvakirtena nityam. Tushyantavadabra karunastvakirtena nityam. Kunam tat prakipartikaroti vinodapatram. Kunam tat pratikaroti vinodapatram. Yairidurshi Bhagavato Gatiratmavada. Ekantato nigamabi pratipaditanaha. Tushyantavadabra karunasvakirtena nityam. Kunam tat pratikaroti vinodapatram. Eridirshi Bhagavato Gatiratmavada. Ekantato nigamabi pratipaditanaha. Tushyantavadabra karunasvakirtena nityam. Amatat karoti vinodapatram. Yairidurshi Bhagavato Gatiratmavada. Ekantato nigamabi pratipaditanaha. Tushyantavadabra karunasvakirtena nityam. Kunam tat pratikaroti vinodapatram. Yairidurshi Bhagavato Gatiratmavada. Ekantato nigamabi pratipaditanaha. Tushyantavadabra karunasvakirtena nityam. Kunam tat pratikaroti vinodapatram. Yairidurshi Bhagavato Gatiratmavada. Ekantato nigamabi pratipaditanaha. तुष्यन्तवदभ्र करुणा स्वकीर्तेन नित्यम् को नाम तत्प्रकृतिकरोति विनोदपात्रम् यैर्दर्शि भगवतो गतिरात्मवाद एकान्ततो निगमभि प्रतिपादितानः तुष्यन्तवदभ्र करुणा स्वकीर्तेन नित्यम् को नाम तत्प्रतिकरोति विनोदपात्रम्. Thank you. यैर्दर्शि भगवतो गतिरात्मवादा एकान्ततो निगमभि प्रतिपादितानः तुष्यन्तवदभ्र करुणा स्वकीर्तनित्यम् को नाम तत्प्रतिकरोति विनोदपात्रम्. Yea, by those, either she, such kind of Bhagavataha of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Gati, progress. Atmavade, spiritual consideration. Ekantataha, in complete understanding. Nigamabi, by Vedic evidences. Pratipadita, conclusively established. Na, unto us. Tushyantu, be satisfied. Adabra, unlimited. Karuna, mercy. Swakritena, by your own activity. Nityam, eternal. Ka, who. Nama, no one. Tat, that. Pratikaroti, counteracts. Veena, without. Udapatram, offering of water in cupped hands. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. Pṛthu Mahārāja continued, how can such persons who have rendered unlimited service by explaining the path of self-realization in relation to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and whose explanations are given for our enlightenment with complete conviction and Vedic evidence, he be repaid except by folded palms containing water for their satisfaction. Such great personalities can be satisfied only by their own activities, which are distributed amongst human society out of their unlimited mercy. Purport. Great personalities of the material world are very eager to render welfare service to human society. But actually, no one can render better service than one who distributes the knowledge of spiritual realization in relation with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All living entities are within the clutches of the illusion energy, forgetting their real identity. They hover in material existence, transmigrating from one body to another in search of a peaceful life. Since these living entities have very little knowledge of self-realization, they are not getting any relief. Although they are very anxious to attain peace of mind and some substantial happiness, saintly persons like the Kumaras, Narada, Prahlada, Janaka, Sukadev Goswami and Kapiladeva, as well as the followers of such authorities as the Vaishnava Acharyas and their servants, can render a valuable service to humanity by disseminating knowledge of the relationship between the Supreme Personality of the Godhead and the living entity. Such knowledge is the perfect benediction for humanity. Knowledge of Krishna is such a great gift that it is impossible to repay the benefactor. Therefore, Pṛthu Mahārāja requested the Kumaras to be satisfied by their own benevolent activities in delivering the souls from the clutches of Maya. The king saw that there was no way to satisfy them for their exalted activities. The word Vinodapatram can be divided into two words, Vina and Udapatram, or can be understood as one word, Vinodapatram, which means joker. A joker's activity simply arouse laughter, and a person who tries to repay the spiritual master or teacher of the transcendental message of Krishna becomes a laughing stock just like a joker, because it is not possible to repay such a debt. The best friend and benefactor of all people is one who awakens humanity to its original consciousness. So let's chant the Mangalacharan Prayer. Om Ajnana Timrandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Takshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantakam Vande Aham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagarajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Saitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you for coming this morning. And I would like to take this opportunity to seek each of your blessings, because each of you are giving me the service, and I'm very insignificant to do the service, but still I've been given. I also extend my sincere gratitude and seek blessings from my Siksha Gurus, my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and all the devotees who have been instrumental in me getting this bhakti and reaching till here. So thank you everyone. And so today we are looking at Pṛthu Mahārāja's message or conversation to four Kumaras. So this has been a wonderful chapter. I really like Pṛthu Mahārāja's slokas, which have been very wonderful. He is such an exalted personality. And he is the one who is getting this knowledge from four Kumaras. So now let's look at Pṛthu Mahārāja's glory first, and what kind of personality he was, so he was enabled to get this knowledge. So can anyone say some glories about Pṛthu Mahārāja, what you have been hearing so far? Or maybe I can start with. So Pṛthu Mahārāja was actually a empowered incarnation of Lord Vishnu. He was the Shakti Vesha avatar of the Lord himself. So he was such an exalted personality. He had qualities to that level, and for such a Vaishnava is where these four Kumaras have come and given the knowledge. So any more qualities or glories of Pṛthu Mahārāja? Yes, Prabhu. Mm-hmm. Oh wow, yeah. Because he was Godhead himself. He was Kshatriya by birth, but he was a Vaishnava by heart. So he was doing all the activities according to a Vaishnava. Anything else? Yes, Mataji. He himself didn't like the glorification of himself. Okay. And we are glorifying here him. Yeah, that's true. Because he showed that humble quality. That way he didn't want to glorify himself, but he was otherwise glorifying other acharyas and the Lord. Anything else? Yeah. He was the Kshatriya to the fullest. Thank you, Prabhu. So he was the Kshatriya to the fullest. So as we know, he ruled the earth to his fullest capacity. He was a very well-known Vaishnava then, and a Kshatriya by himself. And then when we look at other qualities of him, he was a master of three worlds. He was not just ruling the earth; he was ruling all the three worlds. And he also taught his citizens about how to have God consciousness, how to be devoted to the Lord, how to remain off from the sense gratification or worldly people who are more attracted to money and sense gratification. And by all these qualities is where even Lord Vishnu came to see him and bless him. And then Vishnu also said that 4 Kumaras will come and give him knowledge. So here are the qualities of a Vaishnava by which he has got such a blessings from the 4 Kumaras. So it's also said, if a Vaishnava or a devotee, if their sacrifice or austerities, if it is complete, then a Vaishnava or a pure Brahmana will come on their own accord. Similarly, we see here, these 4 Vaishnavas, 4 Kumaras, they have also come on their own accord. They were not invited, they've come on their own accord. Similarly, if a devotee is sincere, if he follows the acharyas in their lineage and also their teachings in the way how they've taught us, Lord will arrange these blessings. Lord will arrange the ways for us to go back to Him. That will happen. So I am then seeing other qualities of Pṛthu Mahārāja. We also see that he was a very good known Kshatriya, in the sense he created earth in a way that it is accommodatable. He divided the towns, he made the agricultural lands, and he even made Mother Earth to give all the resources to all the 4 worlds. So such an exalted personality was the Pṛthu Mahārāja. And when he ruled, it was said as a golden age of righteousness. And such a Pṛthu Mahārāja is the one who has got the knowledge from the 4 Kumaras. And from him, we have also got all these teachings from the 4 Kumaras. And now looking at the other side, about 4 Kumaras, they are also glorious. They were Manasa Putras of Lord Brahma, who was born from the mind of the Brahma. Any other qualities of 4 Kumaras? When we glorify these Vaishnavas, we also get a tinge of their qualities to us. So is there any other qualities which we would like to highlight? They were renounced, yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Very beginning, yeah. So right from their age 5, they understood the worldly pleasures of nothing. They understood that God's consciousness, service to the Lord is the highest, and they wanted to remain as a brahmachari. Earlier to that, they were more wandering as a Mayavadi. They were more impersonalist. And then from the scent of the tulasi leaves which was offered to the Lord, once they got the smell of it, they transformed and they become a pure Vaishnava. From then, they also roamed around all over the world, giving this knowledge to everyone. Such an exalted personalities were they. So any other incidents or instance of 4 Kumaras you would like to share, which is quite remarkable? Hare Krishna. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Accepted, yeah. Wow, beautiful. That's a beautiful pastime of the 4 Kumaras. So here we see 4 Kumaras have enabled the Lord to come to the earth. So Lord will also do all His activities through the Vaishnavas. So in that way we understand, so if something is happening to us in devotional service, or we get an opportunity to serve the Lord through a Vaishnava, it is an arrangement by the Lord Himself. So here again we see 4 Kumaras actually gave us an opportunity to get the Lord as an incarnation through their acts to Jaya and Vijaya, Lord appeared as Varaha avatar, then Narasimha, then Rama and Krishna. So they actually made an opportunity for the Lord to come down. And then they actually instructed Pṛthu Mahārāja that we know. And despite all this, they never stayed in one place. It is also said, for Kumaras, they don't even step their feet in a place which is sinful. If they have to come to a place, then it has to be highly exalted place. And there has to be Vaishnavas where these 4 Kumaras will actually go. And because of that reason, we can see Pṛthu Mahārāja being so glorious has received the benediction. So those were the glories of Pṛthu Mahārāja and 4 Kumaras. And such exalted personalities are the one who can give such a exalted knowledge, such a highest knowledge. And now let's see what exactly were they speaking about so far and what can we infer from it. So 4 Kumaras actually started to speak from chapter 22, from text 20, they started to speak about the spiritual knowledge. So they mentioned, attachment is very difficult to achieve. But when one has attained such unflinching faith in the Lord, it automatically cleanses lusty desires from the core of the heart. So that was the mention of 4 Kumaras. Then they've said, the ultimate goal for welfare of human society is detachment from the bodily concept of life and increased and steadfast attachment for the Supreme Lord, who is transcendental beyond the modes of material nature. So that is another teaching of 4 Kumaras. Then they've said, applying Bhakti Yoga in life, worshipping the Yogeshwara, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and by hearing and chanting about the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, these actions are pious in themselves. And he has mentioned about not associating with persons who are simply interested in sense gratification and making money. One should mold his life in such a way that he cannot live in peace without drinking the nectar of the glorification of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they have also mentioned a candidate for spiritual advancement must be non-violent. So here he is mentioning about the qualities of a devotee. Must follow in the footsteps of great Acharya. Must also remember the nectar of pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Must follow the regulative principles without material desire. And while following the regulative principles, should not blaspheme others. A devotee should lead a very simple life and not be disturbed by the dualities of opposing elements. He should learn to tolerate them. The devotee should gradually increase the culture of devotional service by constant hearing of the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And upon becoming fixed in this attachment of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by the grace of the spiritual master, and by awakening knowledge and detachment, the living entity situated within the heart of the body and covered by 5 elements burns up this material surroundings exactly as fire arising from wood and burns the wood itself. So here are some knowledge which 4 Kumaras have given us. And this is said to be the highest spiritual knowledge. And when we look at, in contrast, what we get in the material world, we always understand this material world is driving us to be more attached to the body, be more attached to sense gratification, money, worldly pleasures. And that is what we are being instructed in the worldly environment. And that is why they are saying that is such a high knowledge. And the knowledge what we are going to get from the world is going to be of no purpose. And for that knowledge what these 4 Kumaras have given us, we cannot repay at all. Whatever we do in turn to them, it's not going to repay them at all. So that's what the sloka is saying about. Now let's understand more about what our material world is giving us. So we understand that in the material world, we have many personalities coming and going. We have scientists, we have philanthropists, we have politicians. They all come and try to do a lot of service, but they're ending up only temporarily fixing the problem. They mostly address food, shelter, and then education, health. And all those aspects are good, but those are temporary. It is not addressing the fundamental issue of the humanity, which is birth, death, old age, and disease. And what can address that? Only when we know what is our relationship with the Lord, how do we serve Him, how do we go back to Him, that is what will address the fundamental issue of the humanity's problems. And also we see, like, on top of everything, there is always fear. There is a fear of what will be our next problem. And we keep on living with this agitation where we don't get the peace of mind at all. Whatever solutions we have in this world, it is not addressing the fundamental fear. We always fear of losing something. Even when we get, we try to think about when do we lose it? What is next? What is going to happen next? So that's what is always going in the mind. For the reason, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always says that this fear is because of your attachment to the illusion energy, to the worldly desires, to the sense gratification. And that can only be overcome by attaching more to the service of the Lord and always reciting the holy name of the Lord, which is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And in this line, if we look at what Srila Prabhupada has also said sarcastically, is he also said that scientists come and go. They make something, the past, and they say this will fix the problems of the world. And the next day they will come and change it. And they will say this is of no purpose. And they will say future we are going to find something else and that is going to fix the problem. And that keeps on happening, but we are not actually finding the solution for the real world issue at all. And again, if we see what is the material education we have got and what is the spiritual education we have got, we can clearly understand the difference. Like we went through the 4 Kumaras preaching, and we also see what we learn in the material world. So we can see a clear difference of what it is addressing. And we will try to understand that whatever we receive in the material world is all duksham. It's of no purpose at all. Even if it's helping us in the bodily issues, that is also not helping it to the fullest. We see that this medicine world is giving us a lot of medicine that is not addressing the health issues at all. It keeps on coming, or it gives us side effects as well. And in terms of the spiritual knowledge as well, this one time where Radhaashtami Mataji was saying that in his temple there are masters of IIT who are actually washing pots in the kitchen. He was saying they have come with such a knowledge and they are now washing pots in the kitchen. And there are bachelors of IIT who are actually cooking in the kitchen. But I myself have done only 1 semester in the junior degree, and they are all coming to seek advice from me. So that is the difference between how a spiritually wealthy person what a spiritually wealthy person can do, and what this material knowledge can actually help us with. And then again, we see whatever education we have obtained so far in our school or in our university, are we using it completely? We are not at all using anything. Even maths, which I found is going to be useful, we have not used it to the fullest at all. And again, whatever solutions in office, or be it in schools or in the environment, whatever solutions they bring, it is also looking like it is changing, ever changing. Even in my office, if you see, they will bring a solution, thinking that it is going to address the current issue for the organization. They will bring a problem, they will work on it for 2 years vigorously, stressfully, thinking that is what it's all about. And after 2 years, they will finish it. And the very next year, the solution will feel that it is of no use. It's not solving the purpose at all. Then again, the next year, they will start to come up with another solution. So that's how everywhere we are going through. But what happens is, we don't realize that's what we are going through. Because we humans have forgetfulness. And because of our association with worldly people as well, we tend to think we are going to be overcoming all those solutions with whatever they recommend to us, whatever we see around, but don't understand we are facing the same problems again and again in the world. And we are only chewing the chewed still Prahlad Maharaj said. And for all that, we can see even the sages in the past, they asked about these material problems to the Lord. So once there was these four Kumaras and Narada Muni who understood these worldly issues are not getting remediated at all. They said to Lord Brahma, we have actually created the world. We are giving the human beings all the facilities, and we are also giving them the spiritual knowledge, but still we are seeing them leading to issues and having problems again and again, and they are always distressed and not happy at all, any time. Then Lord Brahma said, yes, I am the creator. I am also seeing the same issue all the time. But I don't have any solution for this. So let us all go to Lord Vishnu to ask what is the solution for it. So when they all went, like Narada and four Kumaras and Brahma, when they went to Lord Vishnu to ask for a solution, the Lord appeared as a Hamsa avatar, a swan incarnation of the Lord. He came in a beautiful sacred lake. And he said, yes, this is going to be the problem of the material world. Because they are more attached to the sense gratifying and material pleasures, but they are away from the Lord, away from the service to the Lord, and away from the spiritual knowledge. That is the reason they are going to be always struggling in this material world. And the solution to it will always be like how the swan separates the milk from the water, the bad things from the good things. Likewise, the spiritual master who gives the spiritual knowledge and makes the disciples or benefactors understand what is good and bad, by that way is how the world can actually receive the real happiness. By that way is how we can actually go back to Godhead, is what the incarnation of the Lord mentioned. So we can clearly understand here, so what is the wealth we receive from the spiritual knowledge, be it Srimad Bhagavatam or be it whatever classes we receive from the temple or from our peer devotees, that is the highest wealth. And there's nothing which is equal to it or is going to give us a permanent knowledge. And we see that serving to the Lord itself has the Madhava Seva, has the Manava Seva in itself. If we serve the Lord, that itself has the benefit to all the living entities. Like by pouring water to the root of the tree, the branches, the twigs, and the leaves and other parts of the trees are benefited. Similarly, if we actually serve the Lord, through all those sacrifices, the austerities, the demigods are pleased. When the demigods are pleased, automatically the worldly peoples are benefited and they are also ultimately benefited. And it will show them the path for salvation. So that is the difference between spiritual and material knowledge. So any other examples where anyone wants to point out how spiritual knowledge is the highest compared to material knowledge? Any comparison anyone would like to say? In our day-to-day? That's okay. And here again we see in Pṛthu Mahārāja's chapter that we saw like a pure devotee comes only when his sacrifices or austerities are complete. And in that line, Pṛthu Mahārāja also says like why he is not able to repay these four Kumaras. He says, all these resources, what I have tried to offer you, the whole kingdom, my wealth, my family, even myself, whatever I have tried to offer you, it all belongs to Brahmanas. Brahmanas through sacrifices is how they have got us all these resources. Only by Brahmanas' sacrifice is where these demigods give us all these resources, be it rain, food, or any other wealth in the world is coming from the Brahmanas. And again, giving those back to the Brahmanas, it's of no use because it all belongs to them. And only through their sacrifices we have got it. So I can't even offer you those. And that is why Pṛthu Mahārāja says that I cannot offer you anything. You can only be happy by your own activity. And what I can maximum do is, by having water in my folded hands, I can just offer to you. That again is a symbolic representation of a gratitude what the Pṛthu Mahārāja is trying to give back. Otherwise, they cannot give gratitude or show gratitude back to the people who are giving us the highest spiritual knowledge. So there is one story which was shared by Srila Prabhupada. So there was this person in village who wanted to actually serve the greatest person in the earth. This is again an analogy to give an understanding of how material persons are and what is their value, and what is the value of the spiritual service or spiritual knowledge. So there was this person who wanted to serve the highest person of the earth. He wanted to serve the highest person. So he found there was this person who was a chief in village, and he went to serve him. After some time, he observed that this chief himself was going and reporting to a highest chief of the entire town, to whom he was addressing all the issues, from whom he was seeking all the guidance from. And then this person understood, okay, there's a person higher than this person to whom I have to go and serve. With his permission, he again went to serve the highest person. Then that person again went to address all the issues to the king. He went to pay taxes to the king. And now this person understood, okay, now this person is not the highest. There is another king who is the highest than this person whom I was serving. Then he found, okay, let me go and serve that person who is the highest. And he went to serve the king. And then after some days he observed when he was serving, this king again went into a forest to meditate, and he was seeking advice from a sage. And now this person got to know, okay, now the king is not the highest person. There is someone else who is the highest person in the forest. Then he went to go and see the sage. He understood the sage has nothing. He didn't have anything to actually say that he is the highest person. But these all kings and all the highest authorities, they were going and reporting to him and were seeking guidance from him. So that is the spiritual knowledge which comes from these sages. Now this person understood, okay, now he is the highest. Then finally I will surrender to him. And he went and asked the sage, I've just served all these people so far. Now I will come to you. Can you take me as your disciple? Can you serve me? I said, yeah, I can take you as a disciple, but what I can maximum give you is spiritual knowledge. I will not be able to give you anything in this world which is material, which will help you to be happy in this world. I can only show you the Lord through the spiritual knowledge. And Lord is the highest authority in the world. And then he took him to Krishna, and then he just showed the spiritual knowledge, the way to serve Krishna, and that way the person finally served the highest authority, who was the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. So in the same way, if we find any solution in the world, or be it anything what we do in the world, it will always be very menial. It will not be leading to anything higher. Even if we go on circumambulating, like how Supreme Purpose says, we are always rotating the tree. We are always chewed the tube, and always we are trying to rotate a tree and try to find a solution. So that is how the material world solutions are. It is about going through a roundabout again and again, rather than using GPS to understand who is the Lord and where we can lead to Lord. So that was another example. And now coming on to our situation, or what we get as a spiritual knowledge, we see our Srila Prabhupada has given us immense wealth. Despite all his struggles in his old age, at the age of 70, leaving behind his wealth, his business, and all his people and the country where he served for a very long time, he went to America to serve his spiritual master's instruction. And there he faced through climatic issues, wealth issues, financial issues, and harmed by all these local peoples who were there. Yet he was so determined to serve his spiritual master's instruction, and he was so determined to give the spiritual knowledge to everyone in the Western world. Had he not been determined at the time, had he not been compassionate or merciful, we wouldn't have been sitting and reading Srimad Bhagavatam, or be having all these services what we have till date or today. So that is the sacrifice what Srila Prabhupada has made. And also he was rejoicing on his own with whatever services he was doing. Though he had spiritual master's instruction, he also was deriving pleasure out of it, and he was so determined to serve Lord Krishna. And he was equal to all his devotees, yet to all his disciples, yet he was dealing them individually. He took the concerns of each and every devotee, gave them remedies or solutions, or preached them in the way they will be able to accept it. So that's how Srila Prabhupada was very merciful. He was very down to earth. There was an instance where a devotee who was actually eating a prasad, but actually happened to eat chili along with it. Srila Prabhupada, he was preaching, and he understood this disciple was actually feeling, stressful because of eating that chili. So what he did was, he himself got up and went to the kitchen, prepared a medicine for him, for the devotee, and he came and gave it to the disciple. And he just preached in that way as well. So he was preaching in many different ways. He was hard to a person where he has to be hard. He challenged disciples where he has to be challenging. Where devotees, where they were talking about Mayavadi or other philosophies which was of no purpose, he was challenging them. He was very hard on them. So he dealt with disciples according to their nature. In a way, they will accept the spiritual knowledge. In the same way, when we deal with our spiritual masters, our Shiksha Gurus as well, we will see them dealing with us in a way that each of the devotees can accept their instructions. And same way we can see that spiritual master, or the Shiksha Gurus, whatever they give to us is going to be what is suitable for us, what is good for us. It can be a different instruction to another person, and another person can get a different instruction, but ultimately it is going to be good for us. So we have to have that ultimate motive in the mind and consider the spiritual knowledge, what we receive through them, as the highest beneficiary thing. So that's one thing. Anything anyone wants to share about Srila Prabhupada's experience, or any of your spiritual masters? Mm-hmm. 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 Oh, yeah. That's a very good pastime, yeah. Definitely it shows about the power of the Lord and understanding that God has such a power. So that's a very beautiful pastime. Anything else? Yeah, Mataji. Mm-hmm. Mm. Wow. Yeah, that's a beautiful pastime as well, where Sanatana Goswami, somebody came to ask for a highest wealth or highest knowledge. Sanatana Goswami then gave the touchstone, and he was actually giving it from a garbage. He was said, there's a garbage, go and take the touchstone from that. And this person was very happy to go and take the touchstone, but then realized why such a touchstone is in the garbage. If Sanatana Goswami has actually placed in the touchstone, then what is the purpose of it and what is the value of it? Then he understood that spiritual knowledge is highest. So similarly, we understand from our spiritual masters who have been tirelessly preaching us. Even my spiritual master, we see that he went tirelessly to Russia under Iron Curtain. He was trying to preach. It was such a restricted country, highly patrolled, but still he went with the determination to give the highest knowledge. And again, he himself says that he doesn't like to travel at all. Despite all those constraints, what he has, health constraints, and his dislikes about traveling, he still goes to countries and gives us spiritual knowledge. So our spiritual masters have realized this knowledge and they are trying to give us in a different way. Even temple, they try to give us through preaching, through Bhagavatam class, through association of devotees, through festivals, through book distributions, through prasadam distribution, through congregations happening everywhere. It might feel like it is yet another day where we come to temple and do everything, but every day everyone are getting purified. And to such a high knowledge, we can never repay any of the devotees or our acharyas who have given us in the past or who has been giving us today. What we can maximum do is honor them, respect the knowledge what they give to us, and again observe the knowledge, inculcate, try to develop few habits what they instruct us, and again try to give that to others. That way is how we can actually make them happy. So that's what the sloka as well says. We cannot repay these spiritual masters who give us the highest knowledge. And it is always they themselves who have to be satisfied with their activities, what they do. So that is about it. And there's one thing which they always say, that if we pray to Krishna, it always fulfills all the material desires. It will actually address all the demigods. But it will never repay a guru. Even if we pray to Krishna, it will not actually make us to repay our Guru. We are eternally indebted to Guru. Only by following his instruction and feeling grateful to the Guru is how we can actually even value what they have given us, but we cannot repay them. So that is what it is about, the sloka which we saw today. So I will stop here. Thank you. So any questions from anyone? Hare Krishna. So what is the first question we can ask? To lead them to spiritual knowledge, okay. So far what I've heard from my spiritual masters or Shiksha Gurus is, we have to understand the nature of a person, what he can actually take. If he is quite conducive to take a knowledge, we can start them with small books of Srila Prabhupada, which will not be a direct education, but will tell them about worldly things, yoga, and develop that knowledge to the next level, where they can actually get into the actual spiritual knowledge, what we receive from other books. But otherwise, if they are not conducive, what we can next do is give them prasadam. Prasadam is also as purifying as the spiritual knowledge what Srila Prabhupada has given. And there has been a lot of instances where a person has become a devotee, has actually taken up to understand this knowledge by just having prasadam from devotees. That has also happened. Otherwise, the way how we behave, the way how behave with others, the way how we actually include, accommodate or help others, that way will also reflect how a devotee is and what is the knowledge they have achieved by behaving so. That will also make them to feel interested or inspired to understand what we are actually doing. So those are the three minimal ways we can think about. Thank you. Anything else from anyone? Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Yes, Prabhu. I can understand your intention to actually show your gratitude towards your spiritual master. Like as the sloka says, we can never repay, and that's what our acharyas have been saying as well, because they are leading us to the ultimate destination. we are forgetful of Krishna, we are not doing our service what we are meant to do to Krishna, and we are suffering. And they are showing us the path of realization. And that is actually going to lead to the Lord. And we can never repay them, but we can actually show our gratitude by actually obeying them, by serving them. Not just spiritual master, even others who are giving the spiritual knowledge, if we try to do a service with them or show our gratitude to them, that will again show to the spiritual master. Yes, thank you. Anything else? No. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.